right. I want to thank everyone for being here, and I will give you everything that I can tonight, and we'll just take it from there. Let's see who else. Hey, Patty, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Yay! All right, good to see you, and I hope you're feeling well, Patty. And we'll find out if we can do more. Good. All right. The next gathering is every week. Hey, Pachelbel. Pachelbel is my support. I love Pachelbel. And Pachelbel goes everywhere with me. Even sitting when I'm doing some or trying to learn how to do watercolor, and Pachelbel's right there facing me. And then on every video, Pachelbel is there. And when I go prospecting out in the mountains and the fields, Pachelbel is there. And so I like Pachelbel. So let's see here. Again, the next gathering is every Wednesday, unless it's announced otherwise, which it hasn't been, except for over the Christmas holidays and New Year. And the next healing circle is in 2 weeks. We just had one last night, which was awesome. I think it was just incredible. And I've gotten a couple feedback notes from people saying thank you. It was incredible for them too. And let's see, on January, I think it's the 22nd. Can you put on that, Lynn? I'm going to get some more information for Lynn. And it's going to be about intuition. Initiate your intuition, a new level of it. It'll be a workshop for 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And from 12 o'clock noon until, oh gosh, I guess 1:30 in the afternoon. It'll be the workshop, and I'll just take you beyond all the things that I've ever taught with intuition. It's a new level of understanding. And I will be giving the information to Lynn so that she can post it on the website. And I'll probably give it to her within 2 days. So please do take advantage of that. It's a phenomenal workshop. All the workshops are really good, as what people tell me. And anyone here that's was at the Art of Healing workshop last week, or a week and a half ago, please, put in your reviews. I really appreciate that. Let's see, so that's what's coming up there. And all classes, except for the workshops, are free. The Healing Circle is free, the Gathering is free, and at no charge. And you can find all the information at www.markehrlichs.com. Please go to the website, www.markehrlichs.com. Yeah, there's a little bit of the information, and that'll be on the 22nd, if I'm correct, Lynn, January 22nd, for 4 days, from 12 to 1:30. So let's see here, and every gathering will be immediately posted. And yeah, thanks a lot. And every gathering will be immediately posted, and the Healing Circle will be available on, I think Lynn puts them up on the Facebook page, Spiritual Healing with Mark Ehrlichs. And they'll also be on YouTube. So everything's on YouTube. Thanks, Lynn. I appreciate you putting everything up there. That's awesome. And let me see here now. So do take advantage of the replays. Even with the workshop, there'll be a private YouTube channel that Lynn will send a link to for all the workshops, so you can watch them as many times as you want. And also, you can even take it, say, if you need to take a day off, you can't do all of the 4 days, or 2 of them, or 3 of them, or 4 of them. You will have access to the workshop on that private channel of YouTube, personalized for you. So do take advantage of that if you have the opportunity. And anyone who can't afford the workshops, let Lynn know at admin@markehrlichs.com. Her email address is admin@markehrlichs.com. And Lynn knows what to do as far as giving discounts and all like that. Thank you so much, Lynn. I appreciate that. Let's see. And if anyone wants to write me any kind of questions or like that, please feel free to either write Lynn at her email address is admin@markehrlichs.com, or you can write me directly, mark@markehrlichs.com. So either way. And then, for tonight, just please feel free, to post any kind of questions or on pertaining to healing or spirituality that I might be able to answer. And I will do my darndest in answering them. And that's what this is for. And if I can't, I'll tell you. But I love to be stumped. And so, ask, also, the questions that you've been wondering about or curious about as far as the appointments. And, I'll just do my best and in answering them. I do have appointments that are available to you. And Lynn's putting all the information up. I love this. Lynn's putting all the information up on the side there in the conversation if you click on the chat thing. And the appointments are individualized, so please do take advantage of them. And we'll just take it from there. All the information's on the website if you want to know anything about the appointments. And, if you need help in the appointment financially, let me know. I'm available. And I will, talk to you about, what's feasible for you if you do need help. So let me see here. What I would like from people, if you don't mind, is letting me know topics. Thanks, Lynn. I appreciate that. Letting me know topics of what you would like to be taught about pertaining to healing and spirituality, different ways of spirituality, different forms of it, or information about any particular aspect of spirituality. And that'll be offered in the free classes that I give. They're usually on Tuesdays. They're always on Tuesdays at around noon. And if you can't see it, they'll be available on the website through YouTube. And let me see here. What else haven't I covered? If anyone wants to contribute because of a healing or just want to contribute, please go to the website. There's a place there that you can do a contribution and of whatever amount or however often you would like. So please feel free to do it. And let me get rid of that. Any case, again, I already mentioned the appointments. Any questions anyone would like to ask or that I can, get into as far as explanation and understanding pertaining to healing or spirituality, please, type it out. I'd be more than happy to. And also tonight, as time allows, yeah, that's right. Send your topic, to Lynn at admin@markehrlichs.com. I didn't want to put too many ats in there. So Kathy wrote, read in the paper today that India's genetic diversity is due to language diversity instead of geographic. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I agree. I think so too. The language diversity has an effect genetically on people. And so that's why there's also various caste systems there, or a caste system there, which affects people genealogically and otherwise, physically, emotionally, mentally, you name it. I agree, Kathy. I totally agree. So, please, any other comments or questions I can try to elaborate on? Write it out. I'm here for that, and I'll be more than happy to try to delve into it for you. Um, Sue wrote, please talk about the mind, the big mind, M-I-N-D, the mind of the godliness she's referring to. The self and the big self. Is there a difference? And she'll listen to the replay. Thank you, Sue. My answer to that is no, first of all, before I get into that, Kathy, does that make sense, though? I hope so. My perspective of it. Again, Sue's question was the mind is what we are actively created within. Or, excuse me. Please talk about the mind, the self, and the big self. Is there a difference? I will listen to the replay. Thanks. Yeah, I totally love to talk about that as much as I can and as deeply as I can, according to time allowed and stuff. The mind is what we're actively created within, Sue. And in its memory of perfection, even with the flaws that we carry. So we're actively created within it, in its memory, and according to our life's paths as well, in the memory of perfection, even with the flaws that we carry. And so, and being in that mind, we also have the always availability in coming to it. So we have the free will in seeking it. This is our life's purpose, why we're here. This is what so-called reincarnation is about. There's no other rhyme and reason for it except to get to know ourselves. So we're always, and the self is within us. So what we're doing is always pursuing it, even though we're always circumventing going to it. And, being of it, we also have a dominion within us for recreation. Though we don't recognize it, but in the moments of our lives, in that recreation. And we recognize it through our little revelations and or moments of enlightenment. That's how we get to experience it. And those moments are so quick, so short, because that's all that we can handle in our life. In what we're really seeking, we don't necessarily want to go there all the time, in other words. So we even have these experiences through what we want to name and call, say, for instance, our intuitions. They're always there, always waiting for us to delve into. And it's up to us to take it more seriously, and that we're having hundreds of them every day, if not more. And how often do we want to recognize that? And when we're recognizing something, we're recognizing, we're seeing it in a different perspective in the mind. So, we're always having the intuitions, we're always having the revelations, we're always having the enlightenment, but how long can we maintain that for? As momentary or small as they are, we see things and experience them as great revelations. And they're always there, but we're most often having them. And we don't even know that. We can't even get to that place that we're participating in it more often than we're not. So we don't know that yet. And that's what we're learning. That's what we're evolving into. Self, as you were referring to it, is that connection within us that carries that godliness, that divinity, the universal mind, as we call it. But it's the active part of it. It's the conscious part of it. And it's really super subconscious. It's the seed in this mind that is light and life. It's our life. And without that mind, we'd only be less than zombies that inhabited this orb that we live on. that we dwell in. And so I think there would be no availability to recreate in its image if we didn't have that self, or the ability to think outside of ourselves, nor to perceive even to follow up of understanding. We wouldn't have that ability. We wouldn't have that capability, nor our relationship to them, these understandings that we have. So, in other words, mind and self are these things that we have within us that give us this life. And it's so much more. And this is just one little part of a perception of self and the big mind. And each of us also have been given this free will and are unique in order to express this divinity very uniquely, as we can conjure or try to. And we're learning to develop a smaller self that we have to find our bigger self within. We're still in our evolutionary process. And I just hope all this makes sense. So, please, anything else I can try to talk about? What can I do to grow spiritually? Great question. And it's a common question, but it's a good question. And I think that what's most needed is, to stop ourselves in realizing that everything that we're saying and everything that we're doing is an attraction to the world. And we use it for survival, we use it for communication, we use it to identify. And so I think, Mariko, that if we could stop ourselves for a few minutes a day and realize that we're outside of that mass mind, which is the communications and identifications, if we can find ourselves outside of it, then it's almost like a clear screen within us. Then we can ask a question to that without expecting a rote answer, but ask a question to ourselves. Okay, who am I really? And if we can be objective enough in that mind, in our question, then we'll be either shown or told something. But in being shown and told, it's like an evolutionary thing that happens to us in that moment that we are presenting that question. Something changes us within ourselves for that moment. We don't have to worry about losing friends or changing friends, or we don't have to worry about losing the world or changing our world or anything else. We can still go on with all these things, but there's a change that happens with it. It's like an evolution of ourselves that turns out so much greater. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Let me see here. All right, that's not it. Okay. All right. Please, any other questions I can try to answer? Please let me know. Please let me know. I'd be more than happy to. So Mariko, and Mariko's in Japan, I think. So that's really cool. Please, anything else I can try to answer? Anything at all? Any questions pertaining to healing and or spirituality in any way or another? I work with what I refer to. Oh, here's a good one. I work with what I refer to as light. Light is my gift, my goal, and my tool. And when I work with someone, most people tell me that something in their life has changed. And I allow that godliness, that divinity that I so trust, to do it for me. And because I know that I'm not Mr. God up there or Miss God, but I allow it to do it and come forth from me. I say, okay, boss, take over. And boss takes over, whether it be he, she, it, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't care. Universal mind, divinity, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't care. It just wants to give, and it's always available to us, and it's always creative. So let me see here. Kathy wrote, doing the orange exercise. That's an exercise that it's an audio that's on my website that's available. And she wrote, doing the orange exercise, my orange after 2 weeks was less acidic. Do I think my thoughts, imagining changed matter to a little degree? I totally accept that, yes. And what I always recommend to people is having the same orange when doing the orange focus exercise, and having your eyes open when you're doing it, and having it sit on your hands with your eyes open, and putting it on top of your hand here and holding it like this. And while listening to the audio CD, you're concentrating with one side of the brain and observing it in that concentration. And then with the other side of the brain, you're listening to the audio CD. And so you're using both sides of the brain, and something happens. It's almost like your thoughts go into the orange. And you may think, oh, my thoughts are so bad and this and that, but they're not really. And that's only your perception of it. And after 2 weeks of using the same orange, oftentimes the skin's going to look really crinkly and hard. But if you were to eat that orange, thanks, Lynn, if you were to open it up and eat that orange, it would be probably the best tasting orange you've ever had in your life. The orange focus exercise is awesome, and the purpose of it is to increase your ability to focus many fold. It just blows people away. And so please try it out and do the orange focus exercises. It's really an incredible exercise that I think you'll enjoy tremendously, matter of fact. So yes, you're imagining and changing matter to a little degree, and you're getting a little proof of the experience of that with the orange exercise. And you do it for 2 weeks, and you just enjoy it. And it only takes, I think, 15 or 17 minutes to do the exercise, doing it once a day for 5 days a week for 2 weeks. And that's it. So it's a total of 10 days, but you'll see a difference in your ability to focus. And you'll actually taste the difference in the orange. It's really incredible. Lynn wrote, how can you tell if you have truly forgiven someone for the sake of healing and spirituality? I don't even go to the place for something outside of myself, like for the sake of healing or the sake of spirituality or whatever. What I try to do within my life is take a look at someone. It's just like I told a story a couple months ago, the first story that comes to my mind. And there was a fellow at a checkout counter as I was going through the store and checking out my stuff. And I saw that everyone in front of me, he was really sarcastic to or rough or whatever. And so it came my turn, and he starts, checking out my groceries. And he was, panickerish with it. He didn't want to touch anything, and he always had a snide remark about something. So I looked at him. I said, wow, it's been a really tough day. Yes, it hasn't it? And he looked at me, and I'm continually looking at him. And so he had to acknowledge me, and he said, yeah. And so as the conversation went on between us, we became best friends. And so I do it in the moment. And I try to find in that moment that there's really no conflict, because I don't even know the person. And I know someone's having a rough time or having a good time. And I want to be a part of that too. I don't care if they're having a rough time. It doesn't matter to me. Or if someone's close to me, and as far as friendship or someone cutting me off, and sure, a swear word will come out of my mouth if I'm being cut off in the street by another car, or someone makes a remark to me the way that I'm driving or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I let go of that part, it doesn't faze me because I know that that part is going to not only be destructive for them, because I know that every word, every thought, every action is our living prayer. So, is someone in my position is supposed to be a priest? How can I, be destructive for someone else? So I maintain the understanding within myself that I don't have to have anything to do with them, or I don't have to be destructive with them. And so I'll say, okay, God, help them, or help them in finding something else out in their life. And then I just go on. I let that prayer go. And I know that that prayer has an effect in them. It'll change their life in some way or another. That's what's most important to me. I hope that almost answers your question, Lynn. Hey, Prachi's here. Yay! You rock, Prachi. Thank you. Hashtag you rock. I appreciate it, Prachi. And Lynn, please let me know if that almost answers your question, or if there's more specific I can get with. And it's just like with healing too, it's healing for yourself when you're not holding on to the grudgery or the drudgery of someone. We're not having a grudge against them in some way or another. I know, and I know that it won't affect me if I don't have the grudge. If I have the grudge, I'm being affected. And I've had to learn that in my life. So, in any case, let me know, Lynn, if that answers your question, please. I'd be really curious, or if you want to define it to something else. Shirley wrote, I heard some teachers talking about being in the fifth dimension of consciousness. What does that mean? A lot of people talk about it and they make up stories about it. I'm yet to meet someone to really define the fifth dimension when they don't even know what the third dimension really understands, Shirley. So my personal interpretation of that. And I'm living here, and I'm doing the best that I can. And as I do, I know that that divinity within shares with me, and it shows me, and it tells me. And so that's what I go off of in my life. And I don't worry about all these other things outside of myself or another dimension being somewhere else. It's all within us. And everything else is just hearsay. Sure, there's lots of dimensions. And there's even dimensions that, science hasn't even found, quantum hasn't even acknowledged yet. So I don't concern myself with all these other things. And then you'll see that pretty soon there'll be a sixth dimension. And, people will talk about it like they're there. God bless them if they are. I don't think that they would be here if they were there. So just my thing. And so I don't worry about other dimensional understandings. I do know we have other consciousnesses. And how does the dimensions fit into these other consciousnesses? They're totally separate things. And if you want to call them dimensions, great. If you want to call these consciousnesses dimensions, fine. I hope they're able to describe them and express how to live in that and to breathe in that. So thanks, Kathy. I appreciate the little kisses here. And let's see. Prachi wrote, just a blessing on my family, mainly my daughters. I would love to. So let's see here. Let me turn on I have to have a heat for 1 second here. All right, we got heat coming on. It's chilly here in Boulder. So, blessing on your family, mainly my daughters. Gladly, Prachi, gladly. One hand on each of them. and for you. And with your daughters, whatever the situation is, they'll be unscathed, to let you know they're young and they're innocent. That's my perception. So they'll be unscathed. All right. Lynn wrote, I'm trying to focus on forgiving someone that I really see daily as opposed to people I don't know personally. Focus on forgiving someone that I see daily opposed to people I don't know. And as you see them daily, I think the easiest way in the forgiveness is to, the exercise I always give in the workshops is to step out of yourself and watch them, even if they're right in front of you, confronting you, or saying something, or off to the side doing something, is to step out of yourself to imagine, image in action. That's what imagination is. It's not pretend, it's not fantasy, it's imagination. And what you're doing is you're separating yourself from your personal self. And you're getting to see what made them who they are, what they are, why they are today, in an observant, objective way. When you're perceiving in an observant and objective way, then there's no room for taking anything personal. That's my answer for you. So, yes, and I'll gladly give you ask a blessing for that. But you have to practice it. See, another thing that I got, it's never really about you. It's about what the other person is presenting, and it's what their life has been like. That's why they are the way they are, in who they are, what they are, and why they are today. So understand that that's what they were taught. And it's our place to step back, in other words, step out, as I always say, and to step back with your imagination and observe. Then you'll get to see the truth of the matter. Uh, that's my answer, Len. Um, so, all right, Shirley, good. I'm happy that makes sense, hon. I'm happy that makes sense. Kathy wrote, I would like to ask a blessing for James, who's in hospice with brain cancer. I would gladly do that. And uh, what I'd like to ask a blessing for is their um, not necessarily healing, but their comfort. If and you know what I mean. And also, my perception was that there's angelics now that are administering to him or helping him. Um, okay, all right, good, good. Karen, hey, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you here. Um, uh, Let me see here. My friend Francesca is in need of energy and grace for healing. She could really use some comfort. Okay. All righty. Thanks for being here, Karen. I just thought of you today. How funny. Okay. Just peace and comfort. There's been so much turmoil with her, and we'll see if that helps, hon. Uh, I appreciate that. Yeah, really important to do, Lynn. Very, very important. Um, and my honor too, Karen. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate that. So, uh, let me see here. Any other questions or comments I can try to answer, or anything anyone would like? Is there someone here that would like me to work with them? Please speak up. Speak your piece. Speak your piece, and let me know. Um Surely, anything you would like me to work with you. That's one thing that's physically might be distraught or chronic in your life with anything, or Kathy, or Karen, or Prachi, or Lynn, or Shirley, or anyone. Please feel free. Please, please feel free, and let me know because I'd love to work with people. And only have a few more minutes, so please speak your piece. Show the whites to your eyes. How does that fit in? I don't know. Karen, your heart. Physically or emotionally, Karen, please share with me. Uh, I think more. Oh, go ahead. Um, hey, Pamela, thanks for being here. I'm really appreciative that you showed up. What about your heart, Karen? Patty, please, yay! Let me do the blessing first for Patty. Blessings for Marcy, who has been left with physical complications after being on a ventilator. Okay, she has ICU delirium and PTSD behavior. Okay, has been so difficult for her. Okay, I'll ask a blessing for her right now, Patty. And please do keep me updated how everyone is doing after I work with them. I'd love to. Let me see her. Marcy. I saw with Marcy almost like a settling in of a satisfying consciousness. I don't uh, with her situation. So whatever that means, she settled. She settled. She is settling into whatever it is, her situation. So, all right, Pamela, right side of chest to ache. Okay, I'm dyslexic, so this is my right, this is my left, and I'm facing the person. And people that I work with now may sense something happening with them in their bodies. They may feel the heat or movement, or they may feel electricity or emotional catharsis or something, or even a breathing or air going through them, or flow of some form, even like water. there. Um, uh, Let me know how you're feeling, Lynn, if you noticed anything happen within you. All right. Your heart, Karen. Okay. And let me see here. And Karen, it's really important for you to, um, when you're breathing, and I was shown this, so please, when you're breathing, uh, be conscious of your breathing as often as you can. It's not possible to be always conscious of the breathing. And so when you breathe in, watch the breath go all the way into your belly and then breathe out purposefully. But when you're breathing, when you're conscious of your breathing, breathe in slow motion. It'll do something to your body that's really needed. And you'll see that the next breath, as you breathe in all the way down into the lowest part of your belly, it'll go a little bit lower. And then just breathe out in slow motion. Do this for a couple minutes a day, several times a day if you can. If you can be conscious of your breathing and remembering to breathe. And it'll keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper. That will help you to change uh, in your body. And you'll see. You'll see. So it'll be good for you. But please do practice that, hon. And let me see here. I know it's emotional, but um, uh, practice that, and it will help you. And it'll also change in your body as well. It'll help you emotionally. It'll help you to be more of yourself. And you'll see that during those times, the emotions, they won't have a place for the time. The destructive emotions that disturb you, they won't have a place as you practice that breathing in through your nose. Excuse me, it doesn't have to be only the nose. It could be in through your mouth or nose and all the way into your lower part of the belly. You'll see that it helps you and takes you out of the destructive situations and puts you into a constructive frame of mind. Very good. Hey, Tamara, good to see you. I pray that all is well with you, Tamara. Uh, yes, I pulled an abdominal muscle for Shirley. Okay, hon. And some people will feel things as I'm working with them, and some won't. The ones that do feel things need to. The ones that don't need to. So, don't take anything, oh, it's nothing's happening to me or God doesn't exist or whatever. The universe is conspiring regardless. And so, and the universe within you is conspiring with the big universe all around you. And so sometimes it may take the right situations for you to recognize how something is changing from within you. And so I'll work with your abdominal muscle. And one indicator too for you, Shirley, and what I'm seeing is that um, you will find yourself at times, if you notice, you'll find yourself trying to strive for something. And that's creating a stress in your body and it's acting out in your belly. So um, uh, when you do catch yourself, if you can, try to catch yourself and recognize that you're straining in the mind and it affects the body when you're trying so hard to understand things or be a part of something, whatever, I don't know. And so be conscious of that. And you'll see that that the abdominal thing will go away fairly quickly. But and let me know, I'm going to do it one more time and let me know if you experience something, please, hon. Right there. I felt a relief from within happen. So let's see how that affects you and how quickly it corrects the situation, hon. And yes, I know, very strained relationship. I understand. With my son since my divorce. I understand. Step out of the situation, Karen. And otherwise, you know, it's affecting your son. It's affecting other people in your atmosphere. But I'll bet you anything, if you changed your mind as far as becoming objective and observant, the first thing that's going to happen is everyone's going to try to pull you back in. But if you maintain that objective observation frame of mind, you'll see that then eventually they'll give up trying to pull you back in and they'll want to be like you. So you have the power in that sense. You have the power of life and death over creation if you follow that. Mark my words, hon. Mark my words. Tomorrow, blessings for me after being on oxygen for the week. I know, in the hospital with COVID. I've been home for a week, but still have a tightness in my lungs. Okay, hon. Now, the one major thing that I just gave this exercise to someone else, which would be perfect for you as well, is to practice breathing in slow motion. And every time you breathe in, you'll see that the breath goes deeper and deeper into your abdominal cavity. Bring the breath there. And then in slow motion, each breath that you bring in, it'll go deeper and then have it come up and out, and you'll see that it will help sooner than later. It'll help to stretch the material of the lungs so that there'll be a deeper breath. But do it the breathing in and the breathing out in slow motion. That will help you. And you'll see an expedient healing with this much more than, say, someone who didn't do this exercise. So blessings to you tomorrow. Blessings. And give my love to your hubby. Oh, good, Pamela. Good. And it is a shift. It's a shift in consciousness, then physiologically and emotionally and everything. Hey, Allison, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Yes, do that, Karen, please. And then for your son, yes, I'd be more than happy to, Allison. He still has young ideas. And we'll see if he doesn't develop into finding the light within. All right. All right. That consciousness of that light. And my pleasure, Karen. And Prachi, my heartfelt gratitude. My pleasure. My pleasure. Uh, yes, Shirley, the universe does have our back. It's waiting for us. It's always waiting for us. And it answers our prayers. And it's always answering immediately, but it may, some people may feel it most immediate, and some people may feel it or experience it, I should say, as everything begins to gel, to work out, to come together so that it can be. All right. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate it. And it's good to see you too, Pamela. I really appreciate your being here. And Tamara, um, yes, I wish you would get more involved with the events. I really would appreciate that too, Tamara. And Karen, can you send a blessing to all the teachers as they are under so much stress trying to do their job today? Um, I don't know if I'm capable of doing that because we're working with so many minds. Um, and I understand what you're saying. I don't know if I'm capable of doing all the teachers. There's hundreds of thousands, and my preference in my genre and what I work with is individuals. One time there was this great yogi that I met. He started the Kundalini in Chicago, the movement there. Um, yeah, I forgot his name, and someone said, "Oh, you gotta, get a blessing from him and tell him about yourself." And so I went before him, and I knew him before, and um, and then he said, "Oh, you're a healer," and I said, "Yeah," and he says, "Heal the world." How do you heal the world? And so I can't do that. I'm not capable. One person at a time. That's what I do. Or in a healing circle, I'll get up to five people at one time if there's a large number of people. And so, all right. Please, is there anyone that might have experienced something tonight from me? Please share. I'd love to, you know, see that in y'all. And the things that I perceive, the things that I say. Okay, your son. I'd love to do your son. The things that I say, are what I see that are shared with me from that divinity within. Not everything is shared with me. Sometimes I'll ask, "Oh, where's all this coming from? This logjam stuff, God?" And God will say, "None of your business. Just keep working." So I'm not, shown or told everything by any means, and I just work the best that I can and give my heart to what I'm doing. And I say, "Okay, boss," whether it be he or she, it or whatever. I say, "You take over." And so then something might be shown to me or told to me sometimes, and it'll be pertaining to the healing, and that's how I work. Um, in any case, I will gladly work with your son, um, uh, Karen. All right, my dear. All right. Um, uh, my pleasure. And Kathy wrote, feeling peaceful for James and myself. Good, good. And please understand that you may have immediate effect or you may have a developing effect in your life. Something's developing so that you can be more whole or the other person can feel the effect of what's happened, say in the blessings for them or for you or for whatever. But you're also affecting the world. And the last thing I want to do is please, uh, if you do have, uh, you know, something occurring through the effect of what we've done tonight, whether it be immediate or in a short time or whatever, please, go to the website and or Lynn has already put up above where you can uh, do a contribution. Please feel free, whatever it is. That's fine. All right. Oh, tomorrow, good. Yeah, with the breathing, be conscious of that. Very important for you. I really want to thank everyone for being here. Um, and it's already 8. I'm not going to do the meditation. Uh, um, but yeah, I am. Matter of fact, it's a real brief one. But what I'd like you to do for this meditation is just, if you can, close your eyes just for a really less than a minute. Just close your eyes just for less than a minute. And imagine your normal, emotional, reactive self, whatever it should be, uh, just all the activity in your life and participating in it, whatever. And imagine, to image in action, not pretend, not fantasy, just imagination, that you're stepping outside of yourself and watching. Notice the clarity. Notice the observation. And in that clarity and observation, there's no reaction that affects your body. Just for the moment. All right, slowly open up your eyes and come on back to earth. You guys rock. And if you can, do a hashtag you rock. And I appreciate that. It helps the logarithms on, I don't know, YouTube and Facebook and everything else. They love that stuff, the reactions. Thank you all so much. And don't forget the workshop coming up. And that'll be on the 22nd. And it's going to be announced on the website and also on the Facebook pages. The information probably tomorrow or the next day when I get Lynn the information, more of it to her. But the dates are January 22nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And so 22nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's right, 4 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11 until, from 12 o'clock until 1:30 in the afternoon, and Colorado time. And you don't have to be there. You'll still have access to it. Even if you're there for 1 out of the 4 days, or 3 out of the 4 days, or 4 days, you'll always have access to that, the workshop, that particular one. And it'll be a private channel on YouTube. All right, everyone. Patty, blessings to you. Karen, thank you, thank you, thank you. And God bless y'all. And thank you so much